Hi, this is Karvi Rana from Logistics Insider, and joining me is Ms. Prarthana Borah. She is Vice President, Sustainability Momentum India. Welcome to Techlog Innovate, ma'am. It is our pleasure to have you here today with us. Ma'am, I want to start by asking you the role of technologies like IoT and blockchain in actually promoting sustainability.
In terms of promoting sustainability, especially in the context of supply chain, I think we are dealing with a large amount of data. And this data needs to be credible as well as it needs to be collated in a proper manner. And this is probably where technology will play a major role. At present, if you look at the country, most of the data is in either collated in terms of Excel sheets or manually. I think the integration of data can actually help in understanding where supply chains are, because supply chains are not within a boundary. They go beyond geographical boundaries sometimes. So the use of technology and digitization can actually bring together the multiple supply chains that are located beyond boundaries and beyond countries, which would help a company to measure data, because if you can measure the data, then you can manage the data.
Well, very nicely put, ma'am. I would like to move on to the next question, which is what is your piece of advice for companies who are adopting tech, especially for making their supply chains more sustainable and more green?
One of the biggest challenges of the supply chain in India is that it's at a very nascent level of understanding of sustainability. So my advice would actually be not to the supply chain, but to the companies who are, basically collating or working on reducing emissions within the supply chain. My advice would be that bigger companies which have the capacity, the resources, and the knowledge of reducing emissions, energy transition, and overall sustainability need to be part of the process of hand-holding and, entirely taking ahead the process through offering knowledge sharing, technology transfer, financial resources transfer in whatever minimal way is possible to enable the supply chain to reach a level where they can be considered, sustainable.
Yeah. Well, ma'am, you've put it very nicely that how with innovation and transformation, there's definitely supposed to be collaboration, not only amongst the higher level stakeholders of bigger companies, but also amongst bigger companies and smaller fishes of the logistics supply chain.
That's true.
Coming to my last question, ma'am, we're here at Techlog Innovate. So what are your takeaways from the event?
So I'm actually a huge fan of moving out of mainstream sustainability and events and getting into spaces where you don't usually discuss sustainability. So I think it's very, 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 very inspiring and rewarding for someone like me who's been in the sustainability space to be in a forum which is actually talking about technology and innovation and discussing sustainability. So I think my biggest takeaway is that we were talking about sustainability to an audience who is primarily not part of sustainability forums. And I think that is one of the biggest satisfactions, because it is about mainstreaming sustainability in an area which would otherwise not be, climate, sustainability are not words that are usually, integrated into a technology forum, which is always talking about efficiency, resource, and economics.
Yeah. Well, ma'am, we're glad that we're able to bring forth such a platform where, we are also allowing the companies and logistics ecosystem overall to actually talk about sustainability and technology. And it's a pleasure having you today at this event. Thank you so much for your time, ma'am.
Thank you.